Reverend Father Rector, Father Principal, respected Vice Principal, the Deans of Arts, Science and the International Studies and Programs, the Secretary Academic Council and Coordinator IQAC, and of course, dear freshers. Greetings to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to St. Xavier's College. Allow me to confess at the very outset that this is indeed an unusual way of welcoming you. But let me also assure you that the greeting is sincere, the welcome is heartfelt, and the sentiment is genuine. Friends, you have all heard of the renowned physicist Stephen Hawking, a brilliant mind, an indomitable spirit that struggled all life through the most unfortunate circumstances. Wasn't it so unfair? Well, Stephen Hawking himself had that typically modest yet perfectly sublime and accurate response to the issue. I quote, "One has to be grown up enough to realize that life is not fair. You just have to do the best you can in the situation you are in." I unquote. This could stand equally well as a philosophy of life for all of us to follow, and particularly at a time when a pandemic is raging across the world. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, trying to do our best. But ladies and gentlemen, let us not pretend that the only threat to human civilization today is posed by a virus. As we look around near and far, we see human inadequacies raising their ugly heads in communal tensions, in racist arrogance. We see human minds drugged with greed and lust, indulging in cruel and mindless acts of terror, violence, and arson. Never was the need for enlightened education more acute or urgent. St. Xavier's College, as a citadel of learning, reaches out to you with the mission of creating men and women for others. With 160 years of heritage, St. Xavier's reaffirms its commitment to the cause of excellence in the realm of higher education. It pledges not only help and support for you to achieve your cherished goals, but also to enable you to evolve as responsible and committed citizens who will embrace lives of independence, simplicity, magnanimity, and trust. Dear friends, today you are at the commencement of a voyage, and it is therefore in the fitness of things that we commence this journey by invoking the blessings of the Almighty. We shall be presenting a video through which we desire to lead you into prayer. After the video presentation, I request the High Priest of St. Xavier's, our Rector, Reverend Father Jairaj Veluswamy, to please welcome you into the Xaverian family and christen you as Xaverians. Let us remember what the Talmud tells us. I quote, "Every blade of grass has its angel that bends over it and whispers, 'Grow, grow.'" I unquote. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः
Good afternoon, Reverend Father Principal Dr. Dominic Savio, Vice Principal Professor Bertram Da Silva, Dean of Science Dr. Topati Dotto, Dean of Arts Dr. Orga Banerjee, HODs of different departments, colleagues, members of the support staff, and my fresh Xaverians, Arts and Science Department. It gives me great happiness today to welcome all of you to the inauguration of the new academic year 2020-2021 at St. Xavier's College Autonomous, Kolkata. Yes, the pandemic has delayed the starting of our academic year this year by 2 months or so. Under the normal circumstances, we would have by now covered 2 months of hectic classes and curriculum. But we thank God today that we are able to inaugurate the academic session at least now around mid-September, and more importantly, to be able to welcome our 2,600 fresh Xaverians into St. Xavier's family. We all pray that in a few weeks' time, we will be able to welcome all of you into our campus and into our classrooms. This year, 2020, marks 160 years of St. Xavier's existence as a temple of learning in the heart of Kolkata city. Yes, we look back with immense admiration and gratitude over 160 years of her dedicated service in imparting a best quality education to the youth in Bengal and in India. And today, the 15th of September, St. Xavier's College embarks upon her 161st year of service to the students' community in the city of Kolkata and beyond. Therefore, I would like to tell all our fresh Xaverians, you are very privileged to be part of this historic institution and become christened as Xaverians from now on. In the course of your journey at St. Xavier's, you will have ample opportunities to be imbued with the Xaverian spirit of how to grow into becoming men and women for others. One of the core characteristics of being Xaverian is to have an unquenchable thirst or yearning for more knowledge, more skills, more opportunities, and even more challenges. In the Jesuit language, we call it always aiming for the magis, meaning the more, and ever more. Yes, at St. Xavier's, you will be not only taught to aim for the magis, the more, but also constantly challenged by both the staff and fellow students to come out with your maximum efforts, your maximum creativity, and your maximum generosity to engage yourself in various activities, programs, seminars, and many extracurricular activities. Thus, your student life at St. Xavier's will be filled with ample opportunities to acquire more skills and more competencies. Hence, it goes without saying that one enters St. Xavier's College to be shaped by a culture of discipline, by a culture of punctuality, by a culture of dedication to one's duties, by a culture of determination to pursue excellence in everything, and a culture of collective learning and research. This is the vision and the roadmap that St. Xavier's places before you, new Xaverians, on this your first day of the academic year 2020-2021. Before I conclude my address, I like to wish Father Principal, Vice Principals, Deans, and all the faculty members and all the support staff an abundance of God's blessings as you all commit to make this year another year of great learning and great success for our students' community. I like to end with this inspiring line from Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore. I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I woke and saw that life was service. I acted and behold, service was joy. আমি নিদ্রামগ্ন হয়ে স্বপ্ন দেখলাম, জীবন হলো আনন্দ। ঘুম থেকে উঠে দেখলাম, জীবন হলো সেবা। আমি তাই করলাম আর দেখলাম, সেবা হলো আনন্দ। Nihil altra, God bless you all.
Dear friends, St. Xavier's embodies a relentless quest on part of the Society of Jesus, which remains steadfast to its mission of service unto mankind. The missionary zeal kindled by Saint Ignatius remains aglow to this day. I am proud and honored to present to you the present captain of the ship, our dear principal, Reverend Father Dominic Savio, who not only keeps the quest for academic excellence aflame, but who also unfailingly extends his helping hand to the poor and the needy, as he did even as the COVID pandemic rendered so many hungry and impoverished. Ladies and gentlemen, our principal, Reverend Father Dominic Savio.
Very good afternoon to all of you. Reverend Father Rector Jayaraj Veluswamy, Professor Bertram De Silva, the Vice Principal of Arts and Science, Dr. Dopati Datta, the Dean of Science, Dr. Vargo Banerjee, the Dean of Arts, Head of the departments of different departments of Arts and Science, faculty members, members of the support staff, and my dear students. It is my pleasant duty today as the principal of the college to extend a warm welcome to all of you to the Xaverian family and congratulate each one of you on your successful admission to St. Xavier's College. I want to highlight on this first day at St. Xavier's College a few salient characteristics at St. Xavier's College. St. Xavier's celebrates a legacy of 160 years. When we celebrated its 125th year in 1985-86, we had the visits of two great leaders, His Holiness Pope John Paul II and the then President of India, late Gyani Jail Singh. We celebrated the 150th year in January 2010, and we were privileged to have the then Honorable Prime Minister of India, Dr. Manmohan Singh. It is one of the 53 colleges run by the Jesuits in India. A vision and mission of Xavier's flows from the charism of St. Ignatius, who founded the Society of Jesus. The charism of Ignatius is centered around two great themes. First is the inscription you would often see in pictures, books, and even buildings, AMDG, Ad Majorem Dei Gloriam. This means for the greater glory of God. Everything that we do or say, we do it for the greater glory of God, because it is He who is the creator and sustainer. The theme is what we call Magis, the greater service to the greater number of people. And so we walk in the footsteps of St. Ignatius of Loyola to render greater service to greater number of people. The motto of our college is Nihil Ultra, which means nothing beyond. For a person who wishes to learn, who wishes to grow, who wishes to be wise, and who wishes to reach out to others in love and service, there is no end. You are Xaverians from today, and you will remain Xaverian always. Once a Xaverian, always a Xaverian. This will definitely make a remarkable difference in your lives. You have got a golden opportunity to be part of this great institution. You will be walking in the footsteps of great Xaverians like Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore, Sir Jagadish Chandra Bose, Sri Utpal Dutt, Sri Jyoti Basu, Dr. Siddhartha Shankar Roy, Sri Hamid Ansari, Sri Ellen Mittal, and you will hear the echoes of these men from the walls of this college. We are proud of our history. We are proud of our faculty, our alumni, and our students. As Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore has said in his autobiography, quote, I have one fond memory of St. Xavier's, the memory of its teachers, unquote. We have an excellent teaching community that makes teaching, learning meaningful. Community that stands with the institution. Community that gives its time and energy for the sake of students. A community that looks forward to serve others. With such dedicated teaching community and committed support staff, St. Xavier's will continue to climb the ladder of academic excellence and educational service to its student community. Here at St. Xavier's College, we have begun to develop the idea of a new dispensation, shaped by a new vision for the future of this college. This vision will first be built upon the consolidation of our achievements, and only then can we safely embark on our policy of academic expansion. No longer can an academic institution rest upon its past and the laurels it has achieved. In a world where the rate of change accelerates faster and faster, we have to evolve and adapt and grow commensurate to the world around us. So the expansion we perceive will be meditated not entirely in terms of traditional academic norms. Rather, we have begun to consider new kinds of subjects and subject combinations and interdisciplinary studies. This will of course take time and initiative, but St. Xavier's has the willingness to innovate and break new ground and discover new directions, and this willingness is what sets us apart. Our difference can be discerned in numerous ways: academic quality and achievement, discipline, development of values, service to others, and so on. But for me, what really matters is the hard black and white fact that we have begun to attract the best minds from across the country. Enrollment from other states is on the rise, and this is indeed a remarkable achievement. While hearing about the brain drain out of Bengal and how the best students migrate to other states, at St. Xavier's we seem to have reversed the trend. Toppers from other states have now begun to find our college an attractive destination, and there must be good reason for this. That reason is confirmed by the ratings we have been given by national accreditation agencies. So I can submit with justifiable pride that we are indeed one of the very best institutions of higher learning in the country. This repute has not happened overnight. It has been achieved by diligent commitment to our goals and ideals and a singular purpose to remain true to our motto of nihil ultra, nothing beyond. We have already developed a culture of research and project investigation in some science departments, and to this end, we are increasing the facilities in our Central Research Facility Lab. In fact, we will now open the facility to research scholars from other institutions, because this will certainly enrich what we have already have. It is time now for other departments, and particularly the departments of arts and media, to take up research with greater motivation. In fact, there is a lot of work waiting to be done in media studies and mass communication. So I encourage students of these departments to think of innovative projects and research that might enable us to contribute to the domain of knowledge and consultancy. The foundation course at St. Xavier's College aims to give every Xaverian an opportunity to develop acceptance and appreciation of multi-religious, multicultural, and multilinguistic context of India, and to appreciate every religion and to be rooted in one's own religion. The year 2020 has been an extraordinary year which has required extraordinary responses and solutions. One has been the admission process, which was conducted entirely online, and the other is that your classes will now be entirely online. So for all of us, this is a very new and a very challenging experience which demands that we all, your college, your teachers, and you rise to the occasion and embrace the new reality and exploit the many advantages it offers. Our platform, as you all know by now, is Microsoft Teams, deliberately chosen because, as it turned out, it is the chosen software in campuses around the world. It provides us with all the features of college life except, of course, the physical experience of being in college. But all things must pass, and I am sure that we will all return to Park Street sooner rather than later. I am sure that you are looking forward to returning to the classroom, and I too am waiting for the day when I can physically welcome you back, perhaps for another inauguration in our college auditorium. So what you joined, what is this college that you have chosen, and where you hope your dream will be fulfilled? The UGC has upgraded St. Xavier's College with the status of College of Excellence. Our college has been assessed and accredited with grade A++ with a CGPA score of 3.77 out of a scale of 4 in the third cycle of NAAC accreditation. This is the highest score of a college in the country. St. Xavier's College has been granted a college with heritage status by the UGC. It has also been assessed and certified as meeting the requirements of ISO 9001:2015 for providing higher education. I am also happy to inform you that St. Xavier's College Autonomous Kolkata has secured 7th rank in National Institutional Ranking Framework NARF 2020 published by MHRD on 11th June this year. The college is bound together by a set of values and ideals built on the Jesuit principles of equity, justice, conscience, and compassion. Values and ideals which bind all the stakeholders into one bonded community. Here at St. Xavier's, we make an uncompromising commitment to excellence in teaching and learning. As new members of the Xaverian community, I call upon you to step forward and make that pledge to excellence in academic standards and achievements. Do not be daunted by the new learning conditions. In fact, I know for a fact that at your age, you must no doubt be adept and expert at online systems. And so I am convinced that you will take to the new learning platform with ease and acumen and be ready to grasp the advantages it offers. So today is going to be the start of something new and exciting. And that's why it gives me extra pleasure to welcome you. And I do so also with words of assurance that on this new platform, we make no compromise with the quality of education we impart. So rest assured, when you do finally step into the college, the transition to campus will be seamless and smooth. At the time of first introduction, it is important that I tell you about the Society of Jesus, founded more than 500 years ago by the mystic visionary St. Ignatius of Loyola. The Jesuits are an order dedicated to the greater glory of God. We affirm this dedication by our service to the welfare and the greater good of all humanity. One expression of this service is through the cause of education, and our intent in this is to train men and women in the service of others, so that each one can do their little bit to make possible a dignified and fulfilled life for every person that we come in contact with. That's why in the field of education, our preferential option is for the poor and marginalized, whom we seek to uplift to engender the process of social transformation. The living active proof of this ministry is our campus at Ragapur, 24 Parganas South, a village on the outskirts of Kolkata, where we have actually made a significant impact and difference in the lives of first generation learners who come from humble and rural backgrounds. We have nurtured great minds in the arts, sciences, and commerce. The tiny tree that was planted 160 years ago has now grown into a strong and steady entity that has embraced and sheltered and given life to many generations. We have also been the seed of St. Xavier's University, which is now growing into a recognized center of research and excellence. And here in St. Xavier's College, we have a vision of the future. We have already added 5 postgraduate departments since I became principal. I have a simple roadmap for the future. All departments in time will offer programs from the undergraduate to the doctoral level. And then we'll be ready to stake our claim to be made into a university. If we must dream big. And you, my young students, are integral to this dream. And I invite you to share that dream with me and make it real. And together, we can take this college to new heights of excellence. But we have much more to offer and promise. Our notion of education is holistic and embraces not only academics, but also your character and soul. We seek to share with you the most important humanistic values which you can then take with you into your later life. Our ideal is character formation, the nurture of mind and soul. Many Xaverians have met me long after graduation to tell me that they still deeply miss the college. And if only they could come back, and that college was the best years of their life, and that they are what they are because of St. Xavier's. There must be good reason for them to remember with longing and nostalgia, and for them to acknowledge their debt to the college. It is not something you pick up consciously, for it part of the atmosphere and tradition and discipline that you breathe and imbibe in the time you spend in the college. Yes, it is, and it will be a life-changing experience. And once again, I welcome you to the greater Xaverian family. Dear students, my dear Xaverians, I want to wish you all fruitful days and years at St. Xavier's. I want you to consider from today that St. Xavier's is your college. It is our college. Let us live and grow together as one community in love and service. God bless all of you. Thank you very much.
Friends, discipline and order and an eye for detail, both in respect of your requirements as well as lapses, are necessary conditions to make your quest for excellence at St. Xavier's meaningful. As Benjamin Franklin observed, I quote, "A little neglect may breed great mischief. For the want of a nail, the shoe was lost. For the want of a shoe, the horse was lost. And for the want of a horse, the rider was lost." Unquote. And we believe nothing must be lost. So you have 2 important friends at the Arts and Science Office, your deans, the Dean of Arts, Dr. Arghya Banerjee, and the Dean of Science, Dr. Tapoti Dotto. If you are in any difficulty, do not hesitate to approach them. I promise you a patient hearing. But beware, even with masks on, they can smell foul play. So dear friends, allow me the pleasure of leading you to the Dean's desk for an insight into the basic rules and regulations pertaining to academic life at St. Xavier's College.
Good afternoon. A warm welcome to St. Xavier's College. For your sake, I wish this start was different. In all rights, you should now have been sitting with your parents in the semi-darkness of the St. Xavier's College auditorium, once upon a time the ground of the Sanssouci Theatre, before it got burned down in 1843. Perhaps you would be tingling in excited anticipation of the new and the unknown. The stage would be the only brightly lit spot where Father Principal and Rector vice principal, deans, heads of department, your own student council secretary would be waiting their turn to welcome you into the Xaverian family. Instead, here we are, disembodied, unknown faces, trying our best in virtual space, hoping that you feel the warmth of welcome extended by the entire Xaverian community of teaching and non-teaching staff and your seniors as you embark upon this new journey in life. Perhaps, to your surprise, you will discover that this transition from school to St. Xavier's College is so smooth that it is disappointingly undramatic. St. Xavier's College is a 160-year-old institution, one amongst the few renowned institutions of its kind in the nation. It remains a premier academic institution where the aim is to prepare men and women for others, where the motto is nihil ultra, nothing beyond, where, in order to achieve these goals, we insist upon certain elements of discipline and order that are the key to the realization of dreams. Dear students, if you click on the college website, you will see the virtual college notice board. For as long as we continue in this online mode of teaching and learning, that notice board will serve as the link between you and the college. All announcements regarding classes, examinations, form filling will be posted on that notice board. Please make it a habit to check out the notice board on a daily basis, once in the morning and once again in the evening. Your academic calendar, details of your curriculum, and the handbook for online classes will be scrolling on your virtual notice board. You may download some of these documents and store them on the device you shall be using for your online classes for easy reference at any point of time. Before you start classes, it is imperative that you read the handbook for online classes very carefully. All your classes will be held using the Microsoft Teams platform. Obviously, you will first have to download the software on the device you shall be using. Your vice principal will send you an email that will contain explicit instructions on how to do so. Each of you will be given an MS Teams email and password. Remember that you will have to reset the password to one of your own choice. Remember also that you are responsible for the privacy of your own account and therefore do not share this information with anyone. Clear instructions on how to enter your virtual classroom on time will be explained in an orientation program that will be organized explicitly for this purpose. Enter every class at least 15 minutes prior to its commencement. Wait for your teacher, who will begin the class on time. Once the teacher starts teaching, you shall keep yourself muted unless you are asked to unmute by your teacher. You shall be required to keep the video on during class. Therefore, remember to dress appropriately as is suitable for an educational institution and keep your background as unobtrusive and noise-free as is possible. Attendance is a very important aspect of this college. You will record your own attendance by filling in attendance forms in every class. Hence, in class, when your teacher asks you to fill in the attendance forms, do so following the correct protocol and submit. All classes are recorded live So, should you lose internet link at any point during class, do not panic. Get in touch with the concerned teacher and request access for the recorded version of the class. I should remind you that though you are online, the college has a very good vigilance system that can monitor every student in every class every day. At St. Xavier's College, we insist on maintaining proper college decorum in every interaction. Any deviation on this front will invite unwanted attention of the college authorities. This pandemic has taught us many lessons, but most importantly, it has showed that there is so much we don't yet know. All the scientific knowledge we had gathered could not prevent humanity from being brought down to its knees in the face of this pandemic. It has thrown open a challenge to the scientific community. It has roused all sections of the community to work in tandem to bring out a vaccine against the disease. The most recent reports say that 94% of the attempts have failed, but surely the success, when it comes, will merit the Nobel Prize for Medicine that year. Remember that science is not a single subject. Physics or chemistry, mathematics or economics, or the biosciences, or even statistics. Science is the discipline where we recognize and learn the inherent beauty and logic of each of these subjects, and then weave them together to develop the scientific temperament that will enable us to stride forward confidently in war and peace, in health and in sickness. Therefore, treat your classes as a privilege, as there are others who desired but were denied. Lastly, I am sorry that you start your college life in virtual. I am sorry that we cannot offer you yet the ambience of the canteen and the green benches, the modern laboratories and the actual feel of the books in the state-of-art, well-stocked library that the college boasts of. But all this will pass, and we shall meet in person soon. I promise you that then your Dean of Science shall welcome you again in person. Till then, best wishes. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Virginia Satir observes, I quote, "Life is not the way it is supposed to be. It is the way it is. The way you cope with it is what makes the difference." I unquote. Indeed, one man who makes all the difference to the smooth conduct of classes across the arts and science departments is none other than our Vice Principal, Professor Bertram da Silva. He carries the burden of the Arts and Science Office on his slender shoulders. He is soft-spoken, yet the most erudite and eloquent speaker, and you will get a taste of that shortly. He has put his head and heart towards ensuring that discipline remains a persistent feature of life at St. Xavier's, online or offline. I request Professor Da Silva to address you.
Father Rector, Father Principal, heads of departments, faculty members, support staff, and most of all, dear students, welcome to St. Xavier's 2.0. In the beautiful world that we once knew, you would now have been in your 6th week of class, and the deans would have been ready to haul up those of you with suspicious attendance numbers. Beautiful, lovely world of the familiar and perfectly normal But in a world of opposites, light and dark, heat and cold, it is perhaps inevitable that the familiar and the normal should be turned on their heads. So now that things are all upside down, here we are, all dressed up and nowhere to go. Ready for college, but the gates are shut. Strange, bewildering, radical, disturbed, disturbing, unprecedented, the adjectives pile up like a bad road accident. And let's not even begin to think of the collateral damage to the beautiful world that ended on 15th March 2020 or thereabouts. If my mother, God rest her soul, were alive, she would have said with a knowing look, "This is the end of days. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse riding to herald the end of the world." I would differ with my bellicose mother. I would say this is not the end, but the beginning. The start of a brave new world. They call it the new normal. Maybe it is. Maybe history will say that 2020 was a turning point, like the invention of the wheel and the steam engine and the computer and the internet, and then there was coronavirus. And here we are, all dressed up and nowhere to go. But wait a bit. You don't have to go to college. College comes to you. How cool, how fantastic is that? Yes, it has its downsides. All the things you'll miss. A campus throbbing with the heartbeats of other souls. Lecture halls echoing with the footsteps of generations who have come before, and all the odds and ends and sounds and smells and highs and lows that make up college. So I thought, maybe my memories will be a map to help you find your way. And here we are. Let's walk in from the Park Street entrance. You pass the college auditorium on your right, and you can smell history here. Plays, concerts, debates, quizzes, music performances, inaugurations. A few more steps, and take the entrance on the right, and you'll pass the office of the stern deans and the very kindly vice principal. Move forward. A wide corridor opens onto spacious lecture rooms. Take a peek inside. That's your place at the bench beside the window, where you're dreaming of things life has in store for you. The IITs, Princeton. You have 3 years to dream, and we will help you find your dream. Come with me now. Let's walk down the corridor as it opens onto this bright, sunlit balcony overlooking a field of verdant green. The green won't survive Zevotsav and the convocation and beyond barriers and the annual sports, all big days in the college calendar. But now, it's green, it's lovely, it's luscious. Look straight ahead, and your eye will fall on the back gate which opens onto Short Street. Lots of things happen here. But just before you reach the back gate, stop on the right at the famous Green Benches, an iconic place, no longer green, though the benches remain. Lots of things happen here too. Impromptu music concerts, poetry readings, conversations, philosophy, gossip, falling in love. And as you sit starry-eyed, looking across the college greens, look a little closer at the building opposite. That's St. Xavier's Collegiate School. And if you can see that narrow entrance there, well, it leads to the education department and the college library, where you will be doing research and writing papers and all kinds of fantastic things to do yourself proud. Lots of other things on this campus. The labs, the canteen, yes, of course, the observatory, and a musty treasure trove and repository of books and manuscripts and artifacts, the Gathol's Library. I think I can make you fall in love with St. Xavier's. And believe me, you will. It's a labyrinthine place full of history and nooks and crannies to explore and discover, and they will lead you to a quiet place where you will find yourself and who you are and what you want to be and where you want to go. And we will show you the way. But for now, welcome to your campus in the cloud. And I'm happy to share with you some very privileged information. Your faculty have taken to the challenge, adapting to the new digital environment and learning to take advantage of digital resources to enhance your classroom experience. So I can assure you that you're in for the time of your life. With the almost unlimited resources of the internet ready to be integrated into the teaching learning experience, and with classes now potentially so much more interactive, our notion and understanding of the processes, nature and delivery of education have already begun to change. I, for one, have found myself going into quite a tizzy trying to figure how to reinvent myself as a teacher, teaching from an armchair in my sitting room, with noises from the kitchen, and the puppy snapping at my heels, and car horns outside my window, all punctuating my lecture with all kinds of distractions. So I have thought, how do I perform when I have no audience? No audience, living, breathing, sharing a common physical space with noisy fans and old wooden desks and the hum and bustle of a campus throbbing with life and desire and the ambitions of young men and women waiting for the future to happen. And then, come to think about it, how do you keep a bunch of 18-year-olds locked up at home for 5 months with nowhere to go? Deprived of the joys of social company and friends and parties and bars and music and concerts? How do we keep them engaged and sharp and eager and driven and hungry on a campus that is and isn't? And with no one for company, poor things, except textings and virtual conversations. And that's what we plan to do. We will engage your mind in open conversations and create narratives that will make you question and ponder and reflect. So as I love to tell my students, I can't teach you literature, but I can teach you how to think. Finally, before I offer the vote of thanks, a few down-to-earth and necessary reminders. You will soon receive a mail from me through your head of department. It will contain very important information and instructions. Read it very carefully. And finally, it is my duty and my privilege to offer a brief vote of thanks. I turn first to the rector, Father Jayaraj Veluswamy. Thank you, Father, for presiding over this institution with pietistic grace and humility that characterized the warmth and honesty and assurance of your opening speech. I turn now to our principal, Father Dominic Savio, to thank him for the strength of leadership with which he has steered the college through these very difficult times. I would like to specially thank the deans, Professor Datta and Professor Banerjee, and the Secretary of the Academic Council, Professor Oyan Chandra, and then Father Dejas, Head of the Department of Multimedia, and the support staff, particularly Mr. Rafael Naskar, who have worked tirelessly for the last 2 months to make Microsoft Teams operational so that teachers and students may enjoy an absolutely trouble-free online academic experience. It is also my privilege to thank Professor Shalabh Agarwal, Admissions Officer, and Mr. Amitava Ray Chowdhury, who set up and operated so successfully the online admissions procedure. A grateful acknowledgement is also due to the Treasurer, Father Peter, and his office for the back-end work that completed your admission process. Finally, many thanks to Professor Romit Beed and his team for setting up the online broadcast of today's inauguration, and to the MC, Professor Indranil Bose, who moderated this program with dignity, panache, and humor. I thank you all.
As you bask in the sunshine of the deliberation by our Vice Principal, dear friends, we meander towards the closure of this inauguration program. We wish you fruitful years of happy and intense academic and extra-academic activity ahead, and we once again welcome you to St. Xavier's College, your college from today. So one last time, sit back and enjoy the concluding video on life at St. Xavier's College, your St. Xavier's College. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, ever so much.